Hi, Redemption families. I drew a picture this week of how I feel like parenting goes. It looks like this. And on this side is when your kids are born. This is the beginning of their timeline, okay? So this is their timeline. This is the parenting journey. Feels like you're going around and around, taking 2 steps forward, and then maybe 1 3/4 steps back. And then maybe 2 steps forward, maybe 1.5 steps back. And then 2 steps forward and more like 1 15/16 steps back. And then 2 steps forward and maybe more like 1 29/30 steps back. Just swirling around and around and around. And if you feel like this is you on your parenting journey right now, just headed down and backwards, I want to encourage you. It's going to swing back around. And the parenting journey just feels like you're going around and around in a spiral, just swirling, making you dizzy. And so it can be hard to see the progress that you are moving forward. But we are moving forward by God's grace and strength, little by little, day by day, hour by hour, week by week, little by little, just by doing the holy work of parenting. And I also wanted to tell you guys about this time a couple years ago when I was in a very discouraging place with my parenting. And I was on vacation at the Big Sur River in California. Just sitting there by the river, which in this place looked more like a creek, asking God, what am I going to do as a parent? And he showed me the river, and that sometimes a river is flowing freely, and the banks are rising, and there's lots of rapids, and the water's flowing quickly, and there's lots of excitement and action. But sometimes the river is more like a creek, and sometimes more like a slow, tiny trickle, and sometimes even feels like the water is standing still, and you're not even making any progress, you're not going anywhere. But the next rain will come and start moving the water forward again. So our job as parents is just to remain steady. Steady as a river, steady as a creek, continually going forward. Not always fast and exciting, not always standing still, but just steady. Steady as she goes, day by day, little by little, moving forward by God's grace and strength. And that your labor is not in vain, and God sees you. God sees your hard and holy work. Now, as summer really gets into the throes of itself, and maybe summer is changing some of your family dynamics as you don't have school anymore and it's getting hot outside, and we've had cabin fever already for a few months, but it's kind of different now because it's hard to go outside because it's too hot. So just as your family dynamics are changing and growing, don't forget to reach out and let me know how I can support you guys in your work as parents, how we can pray for each other and just be there for each other when we can't be there for each other in person, but we can still be there for each other. So this week, as far as curriculum goes, we're starting another summer of Foundations of the Faith series. We did the same series last summer, and we're just going to repeat it this summer. And that's the beauty of this series, is that it's foundations, and so it doesn't hurt to repeat it. Last year, your kids learned about it in the classroom. This year, they can learn about it from you or from the Storytime videos. So there's, I think, 10 weeks of just one word at a time. Things like we're starting with the end, actually, so about heaven, and then God, and then creation, all the way from judgment, Messiah, Exodus, Bible, Spirit, just one word themed foundations of our faith. So going back to keeping it real simple. So that's what we're going to be starting this week, and it'll take us through the middle of August. And God bless you guys, and I hope to see you soon.